A lot of people have been asking, quite understandably, when are you getting back to the super yachts, Nick? And I keep saying, when I can travel again, because I've been stuck in the UK for over a year because of all the travel restrictions. Well, guess what? Aquaholic is international once more. We're back with the super yachts and we're doing it with style. We're down in Cannes, and this is the new Sunseeker 90 Ocean. It's brand spanking new model. It's an incredible machine, and we're going to do the full Aquaholic tour. We're going to do deck areas, cabin areas, crew areas, engine space, the lot. Let's go. Now, the first thing to tell you about this boat is just how incredibly wide it is. It is 23.5 foot wide. This boat is almost as wide as my boat is long. It's vast, and what they've done with it is quite incredible. And it starts right back here, because this whole section here is a high-low platform, but rather than going the full beam of the boat, it doesn't. You still end up with this area here, which is brilliant, because what you've got in here is stairs that come out, and you can raise them up, or you can drop them down into the water. They're great for getting onto the quay, they're great for getting into the water, but as I say, when this is down, you've still got a brilliant area here. This will take a tender on the back, but you've also got so much space here that you can put a jet ski as well on the back of here, so you're fully toyed up. And this is brilliant. This system here, we've got it set up at the minute so that you've got loungers looking out over the water at the back. That's brilliant. But this area here will actually hinge. Imagine this section will come up flat against the back of the boat, and then it's just an ordinary transom. Or imagine it hinging here so that that comes up to flat and those come up to there, and you've got sunbeds looking into the boat. These are bifold doors, so they open out to the edges, and that means you've got an incredible amount of configuration. You've also got underneath there are deep lockers that go back underneath. There's also C-bob lockers, so these C-bobs can tuck away, you don't have to drag them up onto the deck. But this whole area is just incredible. Look at this seating over here. Look at the barbecue over on this side, sunshade over here. It is just fantastic. Anyway, that is just the start. We've got so much more to show you. Let's head on, and we're going to do the full tour. Now, if we go up to here, so what we've got here is freestanding furniture. This is brilliant because you can have it like this, so people can sit around here, look out across the back of the boat, or if you're dining, you might want to have it facing inwards. You can configure this how you like, and that's really nice. Let's head on in further again. Now in here, you can have this configured pretty much however you like. This is what this owner's gone for. This is, let's see if I can pronounce this correctly, I think it's Minotti furniture that he's got in here. And again, you're seeing the incredible beam of this boat, because quite often what you have is you have a lounge area here, and then you have your dining area across it that way. What they've done with this one is they put the lounging area over on this side and then run the dining down that way, which just gives you a ton of space. But yeah, look at that. That is vast, isn't it? But imagine this was a blank canvas, because they will configure this pretty much however you like. Talk to Sunseeker when you're ordering the boat, and there are a lot of options to say this is what this particular owner has gone for. Now, you'll also notice there is a sliding door on that side, so you can have this open to the elements if you want to. You can also have the same thing on the other side. This owner's gone for glass on that side instead. Similar deal here, because this owner wanted this whole area to be a one great big social area, and I think he's won. He's got that. But if you prefer, you could have this completely closed off, or you could have it with sections that will fold, so you can have it closed off or open at will. And that, of course, is the galley area. There's a side access door, so that you can go straight from here out onto the side deck. And then across here, you've got your Miele cooking equipment here and here. Sink, of course, all that kind of stuff. And then over here, fridges. Interesting thing about these is these are water chilled. And they're here too. There's a microwave just there, and then a load of storage everywhere. Dishwasher, of course. All the things that you would expect. But this is brilliant, as I say, to make this all one big, massive social open deck, which is what this owner wanted. This works fantastically. If you want something different, you can have it. Let's press on a bit further. Day heads is over here. So that is on the main deck. That's nice. You don't have to go chasing off downstairs if you want to use the loo. That's right there. And then up here, and again, this has been kept completely open, so much so that I wondered whether this is an owner-operator boat actually. No, it's not, because I've met the captain, it does have a crew. Look at this feature bulkhead. Now you'll see this kind of design echoing through the whole boat. I'll show you in some other areas as well, but that looks really nice. I love the way they've done that. Another side access door there, and you've got these big glass panels in the ceiling, so you can throw a ton of light into here, or you can power these across and close it off if you prefer. If it looks a bit hazy out of the windows, it's because we've got the covers on at the minute, which are sort of slightly translucent. So that's why that's like that. Obviously, if you're running the boat out at sea, you take those off. This is the helm, and it is befitting of a boat of this size. So you've got these three big Simrad screens across here. At the minute, we're displaying navigation and more navigation here, but you can obviously have that configured to engine instrumentation or radar or whatever else. And then this is cameras over here. So there's one up on the top of the boat looking out over the harbour at the moment, but you can opt to display other ones. Autopilot control, engine controls, remote controls for those Simrads. And autopilot is here. This one here is the ship's systems, so you can dive into different elements of the boat here, he says. Hopefully there's a fuel tank there. Okay, that's not the most impressive one, is it? What else have we got? There we go, wipers are on here, nav lights, all that kind of stuff. So that's how you actually configure everything on the boat. And over here, that little fella there, if you drop your phone onto it, bing, charges your phone. There's a USB socket there as well. It's a nice little touch. Now, the layout of this is quite intriguing because there's a staircase down here, but there's another staircase there. Let's go and have a look. What you've got down here is a completely self-contained area for your VIP guests. So for example, imagine you're going boating, you've got your kids with you, but you've also got your parents with you, and they want to be able to tuck themselves away from the melee, then they can be down here and they're in a completely separate section of the boat. That's rather nifty, isn't it? Big windows in here as well. As I think I mentioned, we are in Cannes at the boat show. Oh, it's so nice to be back at a boat show. So, so nice. Got some lovely boats to bring you as well. But this one, I think, will be the first one up because it is spectacular. Nice feature across here. You've got your big AV equipment, of course. Your soundbar is in here as well. If we head round onto this side, then we will find the ensuite. That's in here. I do like these stone finishes that they put into places like this. And as you would expect, proper big separate rainfall shower. Very nice indeed. Yeah, that looks great. Look at these handles as well. Detailing on here is lovely. This is all storage in places like this, and obviously got blinds that come down over the windows. I like these lights that they've put in. All this sort of stuff is owner specification, of course. I like these gloss headliners as well. That's something I haven't really seen before. I have actually, I've seen it on one other boat, but it makes a change from the usual sort of upholstery that they put onto there. What else have we got that I can show you? Big illuminated wardrobe. That in itself is not unusual, but look at the way they've done the illumination right up the full height of the wardrobe. That's rather special. And more storage tucked away in places like that. And a little dressing area down over here. There's big drawers under the bed as well, of course, so they're down under there. So this, as I say, this is a completely self-contained area on the boat. I think is excellent. But if we head on back, we can come back up through here. This, incidentally, is all down to protect the carpets because it's an owner's boat and it is brand spanking new, so they want to make sure that everything stays absolutely perfect. These, you might be wondering, these are all the adjustments to the seats. They're fully powered, so you can go up and down and in and out and all the usual bits and pieces. Let's head on back a bit further. Day heads we saw. As soon as you come out into here, I mean, it's just dramatic, isn't it? Absolutely fantastic. And it's all about the beam. The beam of this boat, incidentally, is almost as wide as a Sunseeker 116 yacht. So that gives you an idea. It's just vast. Love the detailing on here. Look at the way they've done this. Really nice. And then these steps take us back down to the main deck, but it's a separate area of the main deck. And what you've got down here is 3 more cabins. Again, you're seeing this feature panel across here. Just looks really nice. And if we go right back through to here, this then is actually the master cabin. And this is what I mean about this being a brilliant family boat, because if you've got the owner here, and as I say, maybe the grandparents up at the front in a separate area, and you've got 2 more cabins, which we'll see back here, perhaps for the kids or friends or whoever else is coming along. But let's head into this one first of all, because again, you're picking up the benefit of the beam of the boat. We're in the center of the boat now, so it's about the widest point of the boat, and you get it all in here. Just incredible. This isn't neat, this is actually a TV, but it's a mirror when you switch it off. That's rather nice. And let's come around onto this side. You've got a dressing area over here, of course. And some beautiful lighting in here. Really, really nice. Up through here then is the ensuite. Very lovely size. You've got the twin sinks in here, and again you've got the big rainfall shower, and again this lovely sort of stone effect. I think it's actually porcelain, really thin veneers of porcelain. I think that's what somebody told me it was. It's very impressive. And the loo is in here as well, of course. So that is superb. I think it's probably self-evident, but there is a door here that comes across to close that off, and you can see it's a rainfall. And if we come back out of here, it's just incredible, isn't it? Let's go over this side. This then is a dressing area. So what you've got is just big wardrobes like this. And the other intriguing thing I've noticed is an emergency escape hatch. Look at that. I won't pull it off. Oh, that's interesting. Also here, and the safe is in here as well, as you can see, but something I do rather like, there is in fact a secret area. It ain't going to be so secret in a minute, because I'm going to show you where it is. If we look over here, there's a great big mirror, but if we pull there, now you might think, well, what are you going to put there? I'll tell you what I put there. If you're a bit of a horologist like me and you like your watches, can you imagine having a watch collection in little velvet areas into here? What should we have today? Rolex, Breitling, Omega, Ebel. I'm taking the Ebel today. Fantastic. Let's look at some more cabins, shall we? Let's come back here. This area here, this owner's using this for things like this track vision, but actually these are big enough that you could have laundry facilities in here if you wish. But in fact, there are more laundry facilities in the crew area, which I will show you shortly. Let's head on back around here. So, a 2-berth cabin in here, but in fact, you'll notice the tracks on the floor. These will actually slide together and make a double bed, and then there's little dressing table areas. They hop onto the outside, and that becomes a double cabin, so that's pretty neat. Big windows again, and the blinds, as you can see on there, and your AV equipment. And then if we head back here, similar sort of arrangement to the cabin we just looked in, really, just obviously a bit smaller. So you've got your hanging locker there, and then you've got your heads in here again with that beautiful sort of stonework in there. Rainfall shower, all very splendid. Let's go a bit further. If we come round to this side, then in here you've got a double cabin. And, as you'd expect, this one's ensuite as well. So these two are sort of fairly similar, albeit one's a double and one's a twin. But they're decent sized cabins. They're really nice. When it comes down as a guest on here, they are going to get the full super yacht experience, that's for sure. Look at that, that's nice, isn't it? Okay, more to see before it gets dark, because it's been a long day at the show today. Lots of great stuff to bring you though. Stay tuned. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. Where are we going? Up through here. So, well, I must show you this. If you've been watching Super Yacht My House, which is a series I'm doing about some work I'm having done on my house, this is exactly the kind of thing with the lighting under the treads all the way up that I'm having in my house. If you've not seen Super Yacht My House, check that out. Only I'm having, instead of the carpet treads, I'm having this all wood, but that will all be explained if you go and have a look. So back into here. Isn't that fabulous? Absolutely fabulous. And then we'll press on a bit further. This is all storage down here, incidentally. So glasses, for example, are there. And I suspect we'll find a bit of crockery somewhere. Yeah, there we go. So that's where all that lives, down in places like that. It's such a big boat, such a wide boat, they haven't even brought the seating right to the edge. Remarkable, absolutely remarkable. Okay, we're going to look at deck spaces, and then we're going to look at crew, cabin and engine space. It's all fascinating stuff. So we'll head on round here. This little fella here, if I can open it without losing everything, doesn't open. Moving on. There we go. That is storage in there. And what's underneath here? Now this is your engine controls and thruster, bow and stern controls, so that when you're stern to berthing, as we are right now, you can drive the boat in from here. And if we head out down here, it's quite nice actually. It's just starting to get a little bit dimpsy, and so you can see all the lighting coming into effect, which we don't normally get to see. Look how high these bulwarks are down through here. It means you don't have to have rails up and along like you do on a motor cruiser. This is proper super yacht stuff with this rail inset here. And look at the way they put glass panels down into here. The reason for that is that when you're sat in here, you get a brilliant view out across the sea. And these are very high. They're waist high, in fact. If you look at me there, you can probably see. And then you've got things like your hefty spring cleats down here. We'll head on a bit further. That is the side door out from the galley area, and that is the side door out from the helm area. And we come right up to the front, the bow, sorry. Look at that, what a great area that is. Now there are still some very practical features. So for example, these fellas here will open and give you deck storage for ropes and deck gear and all that kind of thing. And these are draining as well. So you put wet ropes in there, the water doesn't just lie in there and get everything mouldy, it runs away. So that is good. This is this windscreen cover that I mentioned. It's like a mesh, and it just means that when the sun's beating down, it's not beating down on everything that's inside. But look at this, what a magnificent area this is. I love the way they put sort of basically sofas down either side and across here. Again, we're back to the width of the boat, because you wouldn't normally have the space for that. Your side decks would normally come along sort of this area and around here. You wouldn't have this extra scope across here, and in fact it's quite an upright bow as well, so that gives you volume all the way through, right up to the bow of the boat. Love these little fellas. What these do is they drop away like that and turn, and then at night they do that. Cool, huh? Let's come right up onto the bow. Now this owner only wanted the one anchor. It's a very beautiful stainless steel anchor though. I think it's an ultra anchor. But he had the second winch anyway because he wanted redundancy. He did some serious cruising with this boat, so he wanted to make sure that if there was ever a problem with one winch, you still had another one ready to go. And these are accessed down to the chain lockers. But that's a beautiful area, isn't it? These stainless steel chaps here, they are drawer fridges. There's one there, and there's another one on that side, and you've got speakers up here as well for your sound system. Okay, let's press on down this side. Another of those big deck lockers there. That's that big glass panel that we saw with the blinds that come across that's over the helm. And then if we come down here, it does look great at night with these lights on, doesn't it? If you have a look for, just do a quick search for aquaholic illumination, you'll see a video I did at night on a big Flybridge boat with it all lit up. It's rather pleasing to see, to say the least. Okay, we're going to come right back here. That's access down to the crew area, so we'll slip past that for the moment, but we will come back to it. And if we head on around here, we're back into the cockpit, of course, but this time we're going to take a turn up to here. Again, we can see the illumination on here. It's rather nice. It's flickering slightly. I promise you it's not doing that in real life. It's just arguing with the GoPro slightly. And all these pin lights lighting up this area, and then you've got lighting all the way around the hardtop. So up here there is a bar area, and again we've got this Minotti, I think he said Minotti, furniture, all this designer stuff, very expensive, very heavy, but beautiful. I'd love that in my house. It's just fantastic, lovely for outside. There's a sink underneath here, and then along here you have got more cooling. So these are fridges here, and these are again water cooled, so they run pretty much silently and very efficiently. So if you're in very hot climes, they're not battling against the heat here because all the cooling is being done somewhere else on the boat. And I'm going to show you this because, not quite sure why, but somebody once said to me, show us inside an ice maker, I want to see what it looks like when you open it. I'm going to show you. It's got ice in it. That's what that does. And you scoop it out and it just creates more. It's like magic. And then finally up here, you've got this brilliant grill for catering. Now the other thing you have here, of course, is the upper helm station. So there's three of these. That one I showed you on the aft deck, the main helm downstairs, and then the Flybridge helm. Bucket seats, really nice place to drive the boat from. Fantastic view, of course, from up here. You're looking right across the top of other fairly substantial boats. Engine controls are here. Autopilot control, again you've got the Simrad screens across here, again you've got the control panel, so that's a touch screen, autopilot, all that kind of stuff. So everything that you need to drive the boat you have. And then if you go around here, you've got a load of seating or sunbathing area around here. This is all GRP mouldings, but what they do is that basically then stops and that's just open. You could have GRP mouldings there if you wanted to, but the idea is that if you go for the loose stuff like this, and you can move that around however you want. And it does look brilliant. This whole roof, this hardtop, this will slide back. So if you want this open to the elements, you can have it. If it's a hot day and you want the shade, well then you've got it. And then this owner has chosen to go for another catering area over here. So this, for example, is where you keep the wine. Again, owner choice. If you don't want that, you don't have to have it. And if we go on back again, other things you could have a hot tub up here if you wanted to. And of course, because this is all loose fitting stuff, you can just choose what you want. I have to say though, this is a good choice. It does look nice. Let's walk all the way around, shall we? Look at this. Again, it's such a big boat. You can walk behind the furniture. That's fantastic. There is a sunshade that will power out of here, so you can have some shade over here if you want it. And I like the way all this is colour coded in black. That looks really smart. What else can I show you up here? Again, more lighting dotted about the place. And then also up here is, these are canister life rafts, so that's where they live. Tucked out of the way, but are ready for immediate use if ever they were needed. Hopefully they never will be. It's a big boat, isn't it? It's a big, big boat. Okay, we haven't finished yet. We have got crew area and we have got engines to show you, and we're going to talk about performance. So back down here to the cockpit, and this time we're going to head around this way and down into the crew area, which is just here. So what you'd have down here is the crew area. So you've got the mess area here, you have got the laundry facilities are down here. Over here you've got a bit of catering area, TV and sound bar, there's a microwave up here, radio's charging down there, there's a fridge. So it's a very nice area for the crew to come down to. You've got to bear in mind this is a sub 100-foot yacht, so it is a big boat, of course it is, but this is still a pretty decent area for a boat of this size for the crew. Now you might run this boat with 2 crew, I think this owner does in fact. You can, however, go to up to 4 crew. So what you've got is 2 matching crew cabins. They've both got twin beds in them. Really nice sized beds. Reading lights and all that kind of stuff up there. And then storage in places like this. I'm not going to open it because I think they are actually using this. And then there is a heads here. And that has a shower separate down there in the corner. Again, you can feel it taking the full advantage of the beam of this boat. But that, as I say, that's a pretty decent area for a sub 100-foot yacht. That's excellent. Very nice. Okay, last thing to show you is the motors, and they are back here. So what we find in here are a pair of MAN V12 1,800 horsepower engines. They're tucked away down underneath here, and they're giving the boat about 28 knots flat out. But if you drop it back to a cruising speed of 12 knots, you've got about 1,800 miles of range. So you have got some serious distance out of this. Let's come over here and see all of the mechanical systems and the plumbing and all that kind of stuff is over here. Generator at the back there. Beautifully lit as well, very nice. You've also got things like your fire extinguishing systems are in here. These are automatic, incidentally. You don't need to come down and set these off if there's a problem, they'll do it for you. And all your electrics, so your circuit breakers and that kind of thing across here. This is the hydraulics for bow thruster, stern thruster, all that kind of stuff. The electronics for the MAN diesel engines are there. That, incidentally, is a ladder that takes you straight up to the cockpit. So you've got an emergency way out of here. And then we'll come right on round. Another generator here. And then we can come right back. Now these are on V drives, so the engines are right at the back of the boat. I wonder if you can see them. Come right back here. And they are shaft drive. Actually, no, of course we won't be able to see them because the V drives are at the front. That's the whole point. Yeah, you can actually see the engines are canted slightly down that way. Front of the boat is that way, so the power actually comes out of the front, goes through a V-box and then through a shaft, so the shaft exits back down through there. Now the reason for doing that is because if you had conventional shaft drive, your shaft would come up in the same place, carry on forward to the back of the engine, and the engine itself would be up there. By doing this, that's what frees up all the space of things like that lovely crew area and mess and so on. That's how they do it, putting the engines further back in the boat. And then right back here you can see the rudder stocks and all that kind of stuff, all tucked away down there. Superb. Okay, let's come out of here. And I think that I am going to finish up here in the crew area. Why not? There we go. Where am I going to sit? Over here, I think. And I'm going to say huge thanks to Sunseeker International for organising that tour for me. A huge thanks as ever to you guys for watching. Really pleased to be bringing you super yachts again. We got some great stuff coming up. If everything I've got planned down here at Cannes comes to fruition, I've got some wonderful stuff to show you, so do stay tuned. It's going to be brilliant. We'll catch you on another one of these very soon. Take care. Bye bye.